Hi everybody, I'm Sean Gossett, and this is Charlie. He's decided he's going to help me with this video. This is a bit of a different video from what I'm used to doing, but I've seen other people do it, and I figured it looks like fun. Why not do one of my own? So, as you can probably tell from the t-shirt, I was up at Texas Motor Speedway recently. Got to go up to all 3 series races. I thought they were pretty good races. It was pretty fun. But that's not the point. What this video is it's a Diecast review. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but like I said, this is my haul from the weekend, and so we're just gonna kind of go over what I bought, some thoughts on them, and kind of how that relates to the Goodyear Cup Series stop motion series, which is still on, by the way. It's just like I said in a previous video, I think it was my Dover video for NASCAR Heat Evolution, that I'm in radiology school now. I'm learning how to shoot ionizing radiation into people. So that takes a lot of school. I'm in the classroom a lot. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the stars of the show, the cars. Okay, and I probably picked the worst possible surface to do this on. It probably looks awful, but oh well, I am bored and I'm making this video really quick. So, let's get started with Daniel Suarez. I picked me up the actual Daniel Suarez edition of the RS car that has the white on it, which I was glad they did. I'm happy that they made a new paint scheme to kind of separate this car from Carl Edwards' car. This is not the current Daniel Suarez RS car. What they did was they've added a lot more black, kind of where the white is, and it's gone to a more orange overall car, but there's some black in there. But I was happy to pick up a Daniel Suarez car. He's one of the guys I really, really like now that my favorite growing up, Jeff Gordon, was retired. I don't think that we're going to be putting Daniel Suarez in the Goodyear Cup Series full-time for Season 2. However, coming up after the race that I'm currently working on, Gateway, is Texas Motor Speedway, which is the closest thing Daniel Suarez has to a home track. So we might be giving him a kind of one-off ride for that particular race. Next car is a guy who is not very popular at the moment, but I won't comment on that. I'm fairly neutral in that situation, but I really like this paint scheme, and this paint scheme is also actually kind of controversial. I've heard people that really don't like it, but I love it. I love how they've gotten rid of the black. There's tons of purple on this car. The orange patch is really big. It's just really bold and in your face. I really like this paint scheme, and I was really glad I was able to pick one up. Next, we're gonna show just kind of all 4 cars here, because I was able in the haulers to get my Stewart Haas stable updated to their current Ford paint schemes, which of course by the time I put the next one out, Danica's not going to be in the tin car anymore. Whatever. But I'm glad I was able to pick up a Danica car that I'm going to try and figure out how to say this without sounding sexist. I'm happy to have the Tax Act car because it looks like just any other paint scheme. It bothered me a little bit when Danica was getting like the GoDaddy paint schemes, which would kind of be hypersexualized, and then like the Nature's Bakery ones, which kind of had a girly, if you will, shade of blue. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I like this Tax Act car because it represents how I see Danica and how I feel like lots of people should see Danica, as just another one of the race car drivers. And so I'm happy that this is kind of just another paint scheme. It's not particularly manly or girly, it's just, there it is, there's the Tax Act scheme. But also we've got the Busch car from Kevin Harvick. I do miss the Budweiser cars, the bright red Budweiser car. It feels like there always should be a bright red Bud car in the field. But the bush scheme does look pretty good. And then, of course, you've got the 2 Haas cars, which Clint Boyer, starting at Texas Motor Speedway, will be driving car number 14. Tony Stewart is still going to be in the series, but we're basically just kind of go dirt track numbers, where it'll be car number, 14S and 14B, and Tony Stewart will still be driving the Chevrolet. So yeah, it's going to be a little confusing, but oh well, my series, my rules, right? Next we've got the program car from the event, which really I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. It's kind of generic. It's just white with some checkered flag stuff on it, which is it's a departure from the previous bunch of program cars, so it differentiates itself, and really not that there's anything wrong with it kind of going with a simple scheme. Honestly, it looks okay. So yeah, nice looking program car. Next we've got one that I was very surprised to find, but very happy that I did, and that is Jimmy Johnson's actual Darlington throwback car. None of this dumb Lowe's stuff where they're like, oh, well, this is kind of what our logo would have looked like back then. I don't like this faux back business. No, if you're gonna do throwback week, pick a throwback car and paint it like that, and that's what this is. So I was really happy I found the Jimmy Johnson. A lot of people think that it is the Dale Earnhardt Sr. rookie car, which they're not wrong, but if I remember correctly, what this car actually is throwing back to is, I believe in that very same year, which correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, David Pearson also drove this scheme in that number 2 car. So that's kind of an interesting story. But like I said, I didn't even know if they made this car or not, and let alone that I would find it at the trailers. Which, before we move on to our final scheme, I'm gonna get up on my soapbox, okay? Everybody didn't like the change that happened when we went to the tents, and I get that. The trailers are very unique, they're nostalgic, they're kind of cool in their own right, but you guys, why did we have to complain so much that they killed the tents, the Fanatic tents? The Fanatic tents were great. You could go around, you could look at all of the merchandise, you could pick it up, you could hold it. If it was clothing, you could try it on, make sure you had the right size, and then when you were done, they always, at least at Texas Motor Speedway, they always had a separate tent that was like literally 25 to 50 registers. If there was a line, it moved, and it moved fast. You could pay for it all at once. None of this silly hauler stuff, which I had to do for every single driver. I had to go up to the hauler, wait in line, wait behind people who didn't know what they want, trying to try on clothes and everything, wasting everybody's time just to look. Just to look at the merchandise that was there and to see if I wanted anything that was there. And so that was like, people accuse NASCAR fans of being backwards, and I think that really was a step backwards, okay? Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox now, but Fanatics, if you're listening, please bring the tents back. Don't listen to us dumb NASCAR fans. We don't know what we're talking about. The tents were great. The tents were super convenient. So, yeah, there you go. That's my soapbox bit. And finally, we will get to what I'm going to assume is the star of this particular video. One that I was very surprised to find, even more so than the Jimmy Johnson throwback, and that is the Dale Earnhardt Jr. final ride at Homestead car. Not that I was surprised that this car is being made. I mean, of course this car is going to be made, and in massive quantities, because the demand is really high, and whoever makes this car, I guess Lionel or something, or Action, I don't know, they knew that the demand was going to be high because the price was really high. This one was like $10 compared to the rest, which if it was like a year earlier or something, it was like $6, or the current ones were like $8 or something like that. This was $10. But I was very surprised to find this car in the flesh, if you will, at Texas Motor Speedway. I knew this car was going to be made, but I didn't know that it would already be in production and for sale this early. So, yeah, I was really happy to find this one, and it looks great. that classic, you know, earlier I was talking about the bright red Budweiser car always should be on the track, and this one, another example of just a beautiful black and red Budweiser car. You got the not exactly DEI stripes so that Teresa doesn't get mad and sue, but this is a beautiful car. And I think in addition to, in my Goodyear Cup Series, having Dale Jr. run this scheme during the season finale, which will be his last race for the Goodyear Cup Series as well, is we're going to run this car at the upcoming race at Texas Motor Speedway, because that's where he got his first win, and this is the scheme that he, well, pretty much the paint scheme that he got that first win in. So I think it'd be really cool for, in my world, to have Dale Jr. Run a throwback to his first win scheme at Texas. So that's what we're going to do, which I am really looking forward to my Texas stop motion race. I've got some surprises in store, maybe not surprises, but new things that we're going to try. I think it's going to be a great video. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it. I hope you liked it. I really had no clue what I was doing there. But, you know, stick around. The Goodyear Cup Series races are coming. I'm working on them. But they'll get here when they get here. And thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next race.